What's up, good people? What's up, good people? It's your boy, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., the Impact Builder. Let me say that again. The Impact Builder. One more time, y'all. The Impact Builder coming to you from the brand new suite. Y'all see we got the whiteboard today, so y'all know we about to get it in today. It's Finish Strong Friday. Finish Strong Friday. What does that mean? That means we finish strong today. I don't care if it's making sure that email gets sent. I don't care if it's making sure that you dot the I's and cross the T's on that contract. I don't care if it's whatever it is today. It gets done before you leave the office today. Before you close your eyes today, you can say, I finished strong. That's what we're doing. Y'all know we're gonna be a little longer today than I usually am now, but you know it's gonna be worth it. So let's head on over to the whiteboard. Today, y'all know what we've been talking about all this week. We've been talking about what? Embracing innovation versus resisting the digital revolution. The digital revolution is here, and the digital revolution is being televised. It's being televised through media. It's being televised through platforms like this right here. The digital revolution must be adhered to. It must be listened to. It must be paid attention to. You cannot afford to resist the digital revolution. You must embrace the innovation of the digital revolution. So let's talk about today. We're going to talk about losing trust and security. But before I do that, I do want to go over what we've talked about this week, what we've gone into, what we've gone into detail about. We've talked about falling behind your competitors. And this is a result of embracing innovation, or the embracing innovation versus resisting the digital revolution. When you resist the digital revolution, here's what you do. You fall behind your competitors. You miss new revenue streams. You have inefficient operations. You have poor customer engagement. And today we're going to talk about losing trust and security. Now I'm going to talk about it as far as innovation, but I'm also going to swing that back around and talk about it in a different dynamic. So what's the what? We've been talking about the what, the why, and the how today. I'm going to give you the what and the why. I can't give you the how. The how is how you connect with me in order to be able to make your book your strategy session with us, so we can talk about the how. How do we solve your what? And doing that and making sure that you are embracing innovation and embracing the digital revolution. So let's talk about the what. What's the what? Credibility and trust. The what. Here's what happens with entrepreneurs when you lose trust and security. Here's the issue. Entrepreneurs who ignore cybersecurity and transparency risk losing credibility and customer trust. Are you being transparent with your with those that you serve? Can they, or when they do business with you, when they hire you as their as the person who, or as the organization and brand to solve their problem, do they get what they're paying for? I mentioned yesterday about Denzel Washington. He was doing an interview. Him and Spike Lee were doing an interview for the movie that they have out right now, Highest to Lowest. And he was saying how when he was coming up in the industry, you actually had to have talent. You had to be a student of your craft. You had to master your craft, which we all know Denzel has done that masterfully. He's mastered his craft. But he talked about how in the industry today, or even in the world today, in the world of innovation, in the digital revolution, you don't really have to have a talent. You just have to do something, as he said, outlandish or just crazy, and you get a whole bunch of likes, or you get it to go viral or anything like that. And he said that you can have something that people will gravitate to, that people will be drawn to because it's so outlandish, because it has this shock value, whatever. But you have to have something that keeps them. Do you as an entrepreneur? Does your brand have something that's going to keep them? That's the trust that you're building. That's the trust that you're building, and the credibility is because people are believing what it is that you say that you're bringing to them. And when it comes to the cyber security, are you able to those things that you're able to create? Are you safeguarding them? Are you keeping them in such a way that they're protected? People have to know that when they do business with you, that their information is protected, so that they trust you enough to bring their information to you, and you're going to keep that information secure. And that's their, that's their social security number, that's their vital info, their banking information, whatever that is. That's part of that trust. That's part of that credibility and trust. The credibility is, hey, man, they got some validation in what they're doing. They they're not ignoring that there are people out there who want to hack into your information. We've heard it. We know that it happens all the time. It happens with banks, where we've heard that, I mean, in Fortune 500, the banks that we all know have had their systems hacked. There have been many of brands that have been hacked before, but you've got to make sure that you protect that credibility. You got to make sure that you protect the credibility of what you're creating, your intellectual property. How are you protecting it? Can anybody get access to it? That's what you got to make sure of. And those entrepreneurs that ignore it and don't pay attention to it, you cannot ignore the power of credibility and trust with having the clients that you serve, because they will leave you in a heartbeat because they can't trust you and they won't believe you anymore. Once trust is gone from you as a brand, trust and believe, they will leave you. People with your clients will leave you. Take a look at what's happening in the marketplace right now. Take a look at that's the homework. I want you to take a look at your industry, and then take a look at the marketplace as a whole, and see if there's credibility and trust in the marketplace. I see it every day. I don't see credibility, and I do not see trust. One of the things that I hear all the time when I'm on social media, oh, this is social media, this not real. In real life, y'all heard that before? Yeah, I've heard people say that before. In real life, what is that? That's not having credibility. That's not having trusting what people are saying. Why should if you're not being real, then why would people trust you? If you're not being real, then how could you have credibility? If you tell me you're going to secure my information, if you tell me that my information is protected, why should I believe you? If you can't show me how you have protected me. There are literally, if you look at on certain pieces of information, there is, this information cannot be shared, this information, all of those things gives you, from a cyber perspective and from an innovation perspective, of how you have credibility and trust in that particular company. But also on the other end is trusting the brand, trusting what they tell you, trusting it is that they say that they're going to, how they're going to solve your problem, the way that they solve your problem, or that what they have is the answer to your problem, and not just telling you a bunch of fluff that doesn't really solve your problem. So that's the what. What's the why? Here's your why. Here's the why. The why is, one breach can be the fall of your brain. One breach. One breach can ruin everything that you built, that took you years to build, can be gone at the blink of an eye. If you don't take the time to protect it, if you don't take the time to make sure that that the trust is there, and that the trust is built on something that's founded. What's the trust that you're built on in your brain? What's the trust that you're what's foundation that it's built on, that you've created? What is it built on? What is that trust built on? Do you every single day make sure that the foundation of your trust is secure? Do you that the security of your brand is there? That means whether it's not having someone hack your systems that you have. Do you have the proper systems in place? Security systems. Cybersecurity is big this day, because what that does, cybersecurity will protect your intellectual property. Oh, I just said it before. How can those that you serve feel secure in giving you their most vital information if it's just going to be given away, if it's going to be used to manipulate, if it's going to be sold off to someone else? You've got to make sure that the breach, that you don't have a breach in what it is that you're building. And here's why it matters. The one data breach, having an outdated system, it can destroy years of brand building overnight. You put your hard blood, sweat, and tears into your brand, and you don't want one incident, one thing that you say, one thing that you didn't fail to do from a intellectual property standpoint, get breached. I was listening to this interview, and this brother, he was in the record industry, and he was talking about these beats, and he had an artist that came to him, and he said, "Hey, I got these beats, I got some ideas," and he had the artist beats, and he was supposed to get a deposit to be able to hold the beats. So he said he was holding them, and then he had another artist come to him, and he was going through, I guess, having them listen to some beats to see what he might like, and one of them was a major song beat that he had to have for a song that he was creating. He was like, "I've got to have that," and so the other artist hadn't put down a deposit yet, so he was like, he was like, "Nah, I can't do that. That's so and so's, beat." And he said, "Well, how much they offering you for it?" He said, "Well, they give me blah blah blah." And he said, "All right, well, I'll double that." Gave him the beat, and he said the day after he gave him that beat, the other artist called him up and was like, "Yo, I'm ready for that beat." And he said, "Dog," he was like, I sold that beat." And he said, it's like, "What?" And so we've got to make sure that we secure on the one end. The first artist should have made sure that his intellectual property was protected by doing what he needed to protect it. That's what we got to do. That's the breach. The breach was he didn't take care of what he needed to take care of on the financial end to make sure that his beats were secure. What are you doing to make sure that your beats are secure? And what I'm saying, beats are your product, your service that you offer, and the security of that product and that service. What are you doing to protect it so that it does not get breached and it does not be the fall of you? Now, mind you, I believe that song that was created from that beat got to the right person. I don't think it would have done as well if it was with somebody else. And y'all know the song too, but I'm not going to say any of that. But if you know, you know. If you've seen it, if you saw the video, then you know what I'm talking about. But that's what we're dealing with when we're talking about embracing innovation and versus resisting the digital revolution. When you resist the digital revolution, you're resisting the advancement that we're making. It can, the advancement can be, where it would take us months and months and months to write a book, to now not even taking, it could take you a day, 2 days, 3 days to write a book. And I'm talking just the framework. I'm not saying all of the other stuff, but the time frame is cut down shorter. But you've got to make sure that you're not losing trust, that you're not losing, that you're taking advantage of the security, and do what you need to do to secure your product, to secure your services. And that's from a security standpoint. When it comes to cybersecurity, making sure that you have the firewalls and all of those things to protect your product and protect your service, to also making sure that your intellectual property is secure in and of itself, and making sure that you're doing those things that you need to do to make sure that nobody else can take it away or take credit for it. You got to make sure that you do that. Y'all notice I did the what and the why. The how is what we do. We assist you in being able to be able to put in place those those systems and processes in order to be able to protect and to gain the trust. Because gaining the trust in those that you serve, that's a nurturing. It takes time to build that. People do business with those that they trust. Bottom line, what do out of it? If you don't pull anything away from today, I've been saying it all week. The HRM. What's the H, the R, and the M? The H is your health. The R is the relationships, and the M is your money. You've got to protect all three of them. You protect your health in this by making sure that you're building the trust. Because if ain't nobody trusting you, trust me, you all stressed out. You're you're worried about if people trust you, believe in you, and all of those things, and want to do business with you. Trust isn't there. They're not going to. That's from a health standpoint. How are they? How is your health being impacted by losing trust and security? Your relationships. How is your relationship? How your relationships being impacted when you're losing trust and security? Ain't nobody doing business with you if they can't trust you. If you're losing trust and security, people don't feel secure around you. I can't tell you nothing. Because I know you're going to go run and tell it to so-and-so, or you're going to take what I tell you and go and use it behind my back to be able to maybe make yourself better. That's one of the major reasons a lot of folks don't do business with each other, because they have lost trust and security in people. I can't feel secure having a conversation with you if I know that you're going to run and tell it to everybody. So, and the last thing is the M, the money. What money are you leaving on the table because you've lost trust and security? So we've got to understand this, and I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm done. I'm done. What I had to say today, but it's important that you understand about embracing innovation and using innovation, using technology, using this digital world industry, the digital revolution that we're in, to your advantage. And you use it to your advantage and make sure that what you're doing is protected. That you mean what you say, and you say what you mean from a product and service standpoint, and from a digital standpoint, you make sure that what you're doing is protected. Even this is my intellectual property. This digital information that I'm putting here, I got to make sure that this is protected, that I don't lose your trust, and my security by bringing you this information and making sure that it's stored in the right place, that it's put in somewhere where it can be utilized and reformatted and used in other spaces if I choose to, because I created it. So that's what we got for you today. I want you to connect with us. If you want to go further into this embracing innovation versus resisting the digital revolution is here. It's here. And the only question is are you going to be a part of it or are you going to get left behind? Get on board or get left behind. Let's embrace the digital revolution. It's your boy, the impact builder, Dr. Leroy McKenzie. Don't forget, hit that description. You can connect with us. You can make your strategy session. You book your strategy session. We can talk about your vision. We can talk about how we can assist you to be able to bring it to reality. That's what we do. That's what we do. That's what we do. That's what the entrepreneur briefcase is all about. Y'all got till today, 11:59 today. What I talked about, the bundle that I have going on, that you want to be able to connect with us, to be able to do that with us, so you can actually take advantage of it. You can utilize it. Make sure that you take your business, your brand to that next level. But ultimately, you keep the doors open. Don't forget, hop on over to the YouTube channel. You can hit the subscribe button. Need you to hit that subscribe button. But not only the subscribe button, but the like, comment, and share. Share this with another entrepreneur. Share this with another leader. Share this with another with an organization that you believe needs to embrace innovation and stop resisting the digital revolution. It's your boy, the Impact Builder. We'll talk to y'all on Monday. Have a great weekend. And as I always say, on Fridays, do something fun. Let's finish strong.